having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Tyler Loop looking to win it. Buffs looking to block it. Here's the snap, ball down, kick is up, and the kick is good. It is over. Arizona has won it. 4 straight wins for the Wildcats. 7 wins on the season for Arizona. Another happy plane ride home to Tucson. Wow. That's a major.
Happy flight, as they like to say in the sport of baseball. I told you. Give my young man Tyler Loop a chance to kick a big field goal, and great things will happen, and they did. Arizona goes to Colorado and wins it 34-31 on a game-winning field goal. I think that's the first one. We talked earlier in the year, the one that they beat Washington at home. Casey Skowron kicked that one. That was back in about 2000 and maybe 17, or it might have been that same season that last time we went to a bowl game. But Tyler Loop comes through. The Wildcats, an amazing final drive to go down, put themselves in position. And the question I'm going to start with here tonight was, did you like the decision to play for that field goal? Because, again, there's a number of ways you can play that final situation right there. You can try to score the touchdown, and maybe you give the ball back to Shadir Sanders, who was absolutely fabulous, I thought, in this ball game today. And he goes down and has a chance to either, tie the game, and then you got to play overtime on the road again, or do you do what Jedd Fisch did, and that was just kill the clock and take your chances on a game-winning field goal with 3 seconds to go. I was absolutely fine with the way that they played that. Absolutely fine with the way that they played. Either way would have been fine with me, but I have no problem with kneeling down, moving the ball in the middle of the field. And look, these kids come here for an opportunity to make big plays. And it's not just your quarterback. It's not just your running back. It's not just your wide receivers, your defensive ends, your cornerbacks, your safeties. The kicking game, too. These kids come here to college to play for a chance to have a big moment. And Tyler Loop has done everything necessary to get that big moment. And that was the kick, J-Dub, that puts him into the record books, if I'm not mistaken.
Say, someone wins an Oscar, someone goes to the Hall of Fame, you got to say Hall of Famer before their name, right? Don't you have to say the all-time field goal percentage leader in NCAA history, Tyler Loop? Isn't that what you're supposed to say before his name?
Absolutely. You are absolutely right. All-time kicking field goal percentage leader. All time. No one has ever had an active higher percentage kicking field goals, over 50 field goals in their career, than Arizona's Tyler Loop, and he did it on a game winner in Boulder, Colorado today, 34-31. All right, we want to talk to you. An early game, a noon kickoff. We're going to have a fun Saturday night. Finally, we get out of here early and have some fun on a Saturday night. I'm going down to the Dusk Music Festival. Going to hear one of my favorite DJs play tonight, Seven Lions. I mean, this is what Saturdays in the fall are supposed to be about. Some early football and some nighttime entertainment. But before we get to that, we want to hear from you. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. I'm joined in studio. You heard from J.W. Madden there. Glenn Howell is here as well. Glenn, your opening thoughts on this win in Boulder.
Well, we talk about the beginning of the pregame show that in order to take that next step, you have to win the games that you're supposed to win. That's what we have to do. but then didn't think we need to use this next step. But the next step, you have to be able to win when it's ugly.
Yeah, when you're not playing well.
When you play ugly, that's a great team that wins when you play ugly, because today was ugly. It was ugly. Penalties, the penalties that we had was it wasn't us. It just wasn't us. We just played real sloppy, and I think that we did the next step as the University of Arizona program, and we got out of there with the
Find
win.
a way, right?
Yep.
Find a way. I mean, Brian Jeffries on the postgame show said it's the first time since 2004, the Pac-12 South Championship team, that the Arizona Wildcats have won 3 Pac-12 games on the road. He said he did not know the last time Arizona won 4 Pac-12 games on the road. Or, it wouldn't have been Pac-12. It would have been Pac-10. It's an actually pretty easy season if you think about it.
Yeah. It's the 12-1.
1998 was the last time Arizona won 4 Pac-12 games on Pac-10 at that time, games on the road. They beat Stanford, they beat Washington, they beat Oregon State, and they beat California on the road that particular season to finish 12-1 and 7-1. This team is now amazingly 7-3 and 5-2 in conference play with 2 games left to go. The last time Arizona won 7 games in conference, again, also was that 2014 Pac-12 South Championship season. So they've got a chance to do that now. Senior Day at home next Saturday. Get your tickets now, folks.
Yeah.
Get your tickets now. This has been an unbelievably fun season to cover this team. I said 7 wins was what I thought this team would be, and that's what they have gotten to, with a chance to potentially even make it now 10 wins. Who would have thought? I mean, and again, we're just looking at the picture down the road, and still a long way to go. But who would have ever thought that this team could be in a position to win 10 games this season?
I think 9 was the highest one of our callers.
Yeah.
One of our callers, I think,
Right, that was Paul.
that's on hold right now.
Paul was saying
said
9.
9. I said 8. I said 7 wins in the regular season and the bowl win.
I said 5. I was thinking 5.
I said 7 in the.
Yeah.
I said 8, 7 in the regular season and a bowl win. So I said 8 overall, 7 in the regular season, and they're 7-2, or 7-3, I should say, right now, having won 4 consecutive games in the Pac-12 conference. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We'll probably go till around maybe 6:15, 6:30 with this show. So we want to talk to you. Let's start on our guy, Paul in Phoenix. You're first up tonight. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day postgame show after a 34-31 win in Boulder.
Bear down Arizona. But you know what? Hey, is there any way you can hook up my brother Phil? He's on hold. You want to put us on together and get rid of 2 callers?
That would be up to J Dub if he thinks we can. If we can do that, J Dub, that's your call. I'll let you decide that.
J Dub's hooking you up.
All right, Phil, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, we got Paul and Phil,
the bros,
the brothers Loby.
The bros.
So real quick, it was my brother Paul that was talking, and I think I slipped it in once or twice too, but we were talking early on, 9-3, baby, 9-3. Now it could be 10-3. But Paul, you got on first, so I'll be quiet for a moment.
No, that's okay. I need some facts from JW. JW?
I'm here.
Tyler Loop had 2 field goals tonight.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
How many more does he need?
None. He's
None.
45.
He's the guy.
Yeah, I texted that to
is he
these
at
guys.
50?
I texted that to these guys before the drive. I said, just FYI, 1 more made field goal, and he's the all-time percentage leader. So he was about 6 short. Dana Cooper came on with us about 3 weeks ago and said, you might not know this, David Kelly, but Tyler Loop's 6 made field goals in a row away from being the all-time percentage leader in NCAA history. Sure enough, he's made his last 6. That game-winning field goal was his 50th career attempt, and that is the requirement to qualify for that. So he's now 45 out of 50 for his career, 90% all-time leader.
That's awesome. And you know what? And again, the Colorado punter was
Oh my
he
God.
could get
He was fabulous.
special teams
Yeah.
player of the week, right?
He was fabulous.
Absolutely.
Also, he's
Tyler
from
deserves it.
He's from Australia, and he did a press conference. He was the guy that sat at the press conference for Colorado this week, and it's about 3 or 4 minutes long. But if you get a chance, go and listen to that guy talk. He's from Australia. He's got a great personality.
That's great. Hey, guys, seriously, Coach Fish, I've never heard him like that today. That was great to hear his post game. He was like, I think he was probably deep breathing a lot. Like, let's relax. Let's get into this, you know. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. This is one that we had to have. Even kind of joking, last night's game, I was nervous, but it's like it's November basketball. This is the real McCoy here. Now we got to find out what time our game is next Saturday. And I will say this. And Phil, I'm sorry, I'm taking too long. I'll be real quick.
Keep going.
Late night, I got an email from the U of A. Okay, they were nice enough as a season ticket holder. I don't know because I have 5 seats, 6 seats, whatever. They gave me 2 extra seats last night. So I reserved those last night, too. So we want as many season ticket holders. If you have extra tickets that you got for free, that was nice of U of A, take advantage and take somebody to the game next week.
Yes, absolutely.
Who wants to see good football. Guys, I hope the game's at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's on fingers crossed. I'm hoping, okay?
I think we'll get a 4
if not-
o'clock.
You think? Well, no, but aren't there already two like 4 or 5 slotted games, Pac-12 games at that spot right now?
I'd have to see I'll have to look at the games that have already been slotted. I
so.
haven't done that, yeah.
Well, here's the thing: USC and UCLA need to lose tonight. Both lose. Even I don't care. Tempe, let them beat UCLA. That way, they'll put USC and UCLA at the 8:30 slot late at night, so the East Coast could care less about them. We don't care about them. Put them lost in space somewhere, and put us at 1:30 in the afternoon. That'd be great. Phil, wasn't that awesome?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, that's what makes you proud to be a Wildcat fan. And the other thing too is, as J-Dub and Glenn, you guys said, this was an ugly game. The penalties were crazy. It was like 19 total penalties. Colorado had 11.
Yep.
And some of those penalties, like we've seen prior in the for the Cats prior, some of those penalties were just killing us.
Yeah.
And today was no exception. And let's face it, the Colorado quarterback, he is superb. But wait a second, who won today?
Yes.
Who won today?
We did.
Okay.
Some of those penalties that they did, I thought Stevie Wonder was calling them.
I know,
because
man.
I don't know what they were seeing.
Glenn, that sideline pass for T-Mac, that defensive back didn't even turn, and he was holding both his arms. Like, what was that?
How about McMillan's pass interference?
Yeah, but that's the tight end went over the middle. That pick play that didn't happen. There was no touch. Yeah, that was terrible too.
It was ridiculous.
And the first down, all 3 of those calls. And again, I'm not a conspiracy guy. I'm not here to blame refs, but all 3 of those calls happened in about 5 minutes of real time of each other. They were back to back to back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but again, it doesn't matter when when the refs are, maybe the calls aren't going your way, you're not playing your best ball, you find a way to win. That's how you build a winning program year in, year out, Glenn.
Absolutely.
And J-Dub, you talked about, what did you, at the very beginning of the show, you said, well, what did you all think about what Jed Fish did with regards to calling it and letting the clock run down and just counting on his kicker to win the game? Well, that's a coach who knows the personnel that he has. That's the coach who understands that he's got the record-breaking field goal kicker on his team. And, what did I think about that? Well, I was nervous, but it doesn't matter now what I think, because the proof is in the field goal.
Thank you, Phil, but I didn't say any of that. That was David Kelly, so all credit to Mr. David Kelly for that statement.
David? Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
And I think he should have ran the ball in. I think he should have
I
was thinking when there was about a minute and a half left, that's one of those deals where they just open it up and let him score, right?
Yeah,
I mean, don't you?
I thought
that might
Deion
happen.
was saying that to his defense because when they got down there, he walked up to his defensive coordinator down there and said something to him.
Yeah. And Shador's known for those last minute of the game drives. So, I mean, I thought that was for sure going to be a situation where let him score, have about a minute 20 on the clock, and maybe try to go for 2 in the win or whatever, something like that. But that's not how it happened.
Jed got the last laugh. And you know what, guys? Before I go,
I just want to send thoughts and prayers out to all of our friend Kelvin and his family.
Absolutely.
And best thoughts heading their way. Best thoughts heading their way.
Hey, we appreciate
Yeah,
that immensely,
absolutely.
guys.
Ditto. And then one other quick
ahead,
comment
Phil.
I'd like to make, and then I'll jump out. My last quick comment was, everybody was talking about Noah being kind of like he came alive in the second half. Well, he's a young college student. He was still trying to wake up in the first half. Okay, so that's okay. And like my niece, I have a niece who lovingly refers to him as Fifi. Last week she texted out saying, she sent out a text saying Fifi played really good tonight. And so I'm not trying to label him with Fifi by any means. But then the last thing I do want to say is I was reminded of what was said last week, and I was reminded of an audio clip from years gone by, and it was said by an incredible, strong, rugged, handsome man by the name of Glenn Howe. We're going bowling, baby.
We're going bowling. We're bowling.
We're
going bowling, babe. Right on.
So you guys, thank you for your show. Thank you for what you do, and prayers go out to Kelvin. All right, I'm out of here.
Guys, we appreciate it. Bear down.
Bear down, Arizona.
All right,
Good to be a Wildcat.
I want to in terms of the mark that Tyler Loop set tonight, I want to put a caveat on that. He's actually tied with at the top because Brett Baer from Louisiana also made 45 of 50 in his career.
Right.
So they are both now. He is now tied at the top. All-time percentage, you have to have at least 50 kicks, and today with 49 and 50 for him. So that is 90%. He is tied atop that leaderboard now with Brett Baer from Louisiana. But still an incredible accomplishment for one Tyler Loop. I think he'll be getting a game ball, at least from me.
Yeah.
this week. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Let's get, is that T-Money? Let's get T-Money in here. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Gentlemen, how you doing? Great show. Thank you for what you do. I just want to shout out Fish, man. It is awesome to have a coach who's coming into his own as a head coach, knows how to manage a game towards the end. And I was like you guys said, I thought they were going to run it in and then try to play defense on the back end. And he just totally out of Belichick's coaching tree, out of all of his disciples, Fish is like the only one who's doing anything. But that was Belichickian, and I hate to say this because I hate Belichick, but that was Belichickian what he did. Just take the air out of the ball, kick the field goal, end the game, and keep the game in your control. And you know that Dion, Coach Preen was going to try to do his thing. But that's what Fish showed. He's a real coach. Dion, well, I guess he's still learning. But this is a great win for us. This is a great win for the program. Pac-12, good riddance. Your refs suck. That was the worst crew I've seen. Pac-12 network, I'm going to miss Yogi, but other than that, they suck too. And let's keep this thing going. You guys know when the game is next week?
We will find out tomorrow. And just on that, I did look up. There's only 2 games scheduled. There's 3 games scheduled, but one of them next week is on Friday. So Friday game is Colorado at Washington State. The 2 games that are scheduled right now. Are you getting out of your car there, T-Money?
I decided not to. I decided I'm going to stay on the line.
The only 2 games actually scheduled next week so far are Cal at Stanford, the big game, and that's at 3:30 on Pac-12 Network, and then the 4:30 slot, which is the 6:30 Eastern game, is Washington at Oregon State on ABC. So still available, obviously, is the noon kick and the 7. I think the later kick at 7:30 still. So it's still up in the air where that Arizona. There's 3 games left to schedule: Utah at Arizona, Oregon State at Arizona State, and the Victory Bell game between UCLA and USC. So those are the 3 games left to schedule.
Utah's currently down 7 with the ball, 10 minutes left in the 4th against number 5 Washington. Regardless of what happens in that game, they're going to be ranked. So you're talking about 2 ranked teams. They're going to get a good slot.
Yeah, I think they will definitely get a good slot there for sure.
Yeah, I would love to say that going out, the Pac-12 gets us the noon kick, and we can leave with some good feelings. But the way they've been scheduling things, the way they've been doing things like my whole life, they're going to schedule it somehow. It's going to end up at 8:30 kickoff, something like 8:35, and we're going to all leave with a bad taste in our mouth. But, hey, if these guys can knock out 2 more wins, that would be huge. Feels like it's back to the 90s. We beat Duke in Cameron, and the football team is relevant. This is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great weekend for the Cats.
Yeah.
Women won,
Yeah,
too.
man. Hey, oh, man, I didn't know that. Bear down, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Cleat Money. We appreciate you. Yeah, so obviously the let's kind of go through the slots that are left. I would think Oregon at Arizona State is going to be your noon game next week on Pac-12 Network.
Oregon and Arizona State?
Would be the noon game. I don't think that, well, they're not going to put us in the noon. I don't think you're going to get Arizona in the noon slot on Pac-12 2 weeks in a row. I would think that if Utah wins, that's going to be on one of the major networks.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be on one of the major networks.
Yeah.
So Oregon and Arizona State would be the noon game on Pac-12 Network. 3:30 would be Cal Stanford on Pac-12 Network. Then I guess is the late game. It kicks on Pac-12 Network at what time? I think it's at 8 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock. So then that would leave either Utah, Arizona, or UCLA, USC in the 7 o'clock game. And I think right now you're probably looking at UCLA, USC at 7 o'clock. And I'm not sure what the other window is right now. It's because I don't think there's a 7:30 ESPN window anymore. So, all right, let's take one more call before the break. Tom, you're on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Well, I was told to call back from last night.
Hey, there you go.
Win.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We overcame penalties and not being very good in the first half. And they played their hearts out. It shows that we can win under real tough situations. The play calling at the end of the game by Fish, I thought was excellent. Glenn, I'm sorry to disagree with you, but on a field goal you can have problems, but you can also have a fumble running it. So either way, it doesn't matter to me how it happened, but I'm happy.
We are all happy.
A lot of people in Tucson
are all happy.
Oh, yeah. But, no, so on to Utah. What's the score in the Utah game right now, do you know?
28-34, 28-35.
35-28 Washington.
Yeah, Washington.
Okay.
But Utah's driving right now.
Okay, good. It doesn't matter. We're going to be at home, and I don't think we're going to fall down like we did today. We didn't fall down, but we stumbled a little bit. 9-3. Still going to go with it.
9-3, says Tom.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
I'm not going to sit here and try to disagree with that.
Yeah, me either. My scenario was if we lost today, that we would lose one of the last two. That's where it was going to go down. And I thought the loss would be we'd beat Utah and then we'd lose to Arizona State, which was a bad scenario because we'd be up. We'd be like, we lost to Colorado. Now we got to get up. We beat Utah. And then we go into Arizona State thinking, then we're just going to run them over.
Right. Speaking of running them over, have we talked about Jonah Coleman yet?
Oh, my gosh.
I just saw
I was
him.
saving that for the second
I just saw
segment.
him on the post office. In the post office, they had a picture of him for assault, man.
You want to
He was in the post office, most wanted.
You want to put all the game balls in a guy's foot, then, no disrespect to everybody else who made big plays in this game, but Jonah Coleman, more or less, 11 for 179.
Yeah.
Okay. How many, what was it, 3 big plays? He had one for 20-something, 50 and 40 or something like that?
Yeah, 25 and 25 and 24, and then a 50. I think it was. Was it? Was that what it was?
Yeah, he had it was either 50 or 49 yards right there.
Yeah. It was.
Well, there you go. 3 carries, almost 100 yards.
He had a 54.
No, he was awesome.
12, 9, 3, 2, 49, no gain, 2, 54, 3, 21, and 24. Those 2, 21 and 24 on that last drive.
Yeah, 16.3 per carry.
Yeah, that's. They could have probably ran down their throats, but.
Yes, indeed. Let's not forget that, Tom. Don't get me started because
you said the magic words, Tom.
Tom,
you said the magic words.
You know what? I'm a bald guy, but I had an afro after this game because my hair was just growing because it was like, are you kidding me? We should be running the ball down their throat and just burning the clock.
We got a group text between all the post-game, pre-game people, and I must have seen run the dang ball 500 times today.
Well, that's every week, though.
Yeah, but today in particular.
They ignore me now.
Glenn, I'm bald too, but I didn't grow any hair today.
Yeah.
I got a full head of white hair, and I shave it. So, there you go. Much easier. So, all right, guys, bear down. Have a good one.
Bear
Thanks
down,
for taking
man.
my call. And, hey, I guess we'll probably talk to somebody on Monday night, huh?
Yeah, we'll be here.
Oh, yeah, we'll be here.
Absolutely.
Arizona basketball
Sounds
against
good.
Southern. Appreciate you, Tom.
Appreciate
it,
Tom.
Let's get a break in here. We'll come back. We'll talk more about this game, keys to the game, our best bets as well. We'll give you some highlights tonight. We'll hear from the head coach and the players. Hopefully some of the players from Colorado, not from Colorado, but back in Colorado. 34-31 on a Tyler Loop field goal. Arizona beats Colorado. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show is brought to you in part by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog and Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Pulse the Results team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia. is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Fafita out of the shotgun. Noah fade to McMillan. One-handed catch. Back corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. T-Mac, how many times have we seen him use that one hand to haul it in?
That was spectacular.
Tetairoa McMillan is an absolute beast. 9 catches for 107 yards. I mean, the numbers don't jump out at you in terms of statistically, but boy, oh boy, it seems like every single ball he caught in that game, he had to go up to the top of the ladder
That was on
get it.
Hunter, too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was going against the number one guy.
What a battle
DB.
that was.
Yeah, and I think he won most of those battles. The kid is just he's just a phenomenal wide receiver. He is getting better with his routes, which is unbelievable. And man, if this kid gets another year of getting faster, he's going to be ridiculous. He's going to be ridiculous.
Noah finished 21 of 35. So, again, it was not his crispest game of the season in terms of he was off on a lot of his throws, missed it. And that's going to happen. I mean, different air up there as well. Loud crowd on the road. I mean, it's not an easy venue to play in. Only completed 60% of his passes in this ball game. Only took the 1 sack, which was very important, threw 2 touchdown passes in the game. And obviously, most importantly, did not turn the ball over in this game.
No turnovers for either team today,
No,
right? Yeah.
No, it was both teams in that respect played a crisp ball game. But again, we mentioned in the top of the program the penalties, and I think I don't know. I mean, again, I think Colorado is probably under Deion Sanders going to be a team that plays aggressively like that. They just may be a team that commits a lot of penalties. But, I mean, I think back to the last 2 weeks, just how many times the Wildcats have benefited from a personal foul in the red zone, and it's led to points. I mean, it's one thing if you're making penalties like that between the 20s, but if you make penalties like that inside the 20-yard line, hands to the face and whatever not, hitting the quarterback in the helmet, those are just killer penalties. You got to clean that kind of thing up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that what gave me the red flag that we weren't playing very good is the penalties that we had,
Yeah.
The penalties is because we don't usually do that. We're a clean team. On the post game, usually Jed's saying, we had a clean game, and that I think the clean game means that we had very few, if any, penalties at all. And I think our guys, a good team does that. That's what a good team does, and they just really pulled one out today, man. This one, they didn't play very well, and they fought, and they really made sure that they were going to win this game. It was a thing that you were watching the television, and you're saying, these guys are going to not be denied. And that was a great thing for our team. I think
maybe, I've seen a lot of the Colorado team this year, right? Other than that Oregon blowout, it feels like they've been in every game, right? And that's that team, fights. That's a team that fights. So I don't know if there was any kind of frustrations going on. I know Manu had a late hit there. They didn't call that.
Yeah,
that probably should have been a call.
He did.
We were talking about maybe missing calls on the Arizona side. That was a late hit on Shedeur. But I feel like going this game, they're on a 4-game losing streak. They obviously have a lot of pride. Mm-hmm. They follow their coach. So I don't know what was being said out there, Glenn, or what the attitude was in general. But with another top 25 team on the schedule, that Buffalo's team was going to come in and play this game like it was the most important game they'd ever had on the schedule. So I don't know exactly what's going on. Fafita's 8 for 18 at one point is what I saw. You said he finished 21 or 35. So, you kind of cleaned it up a little bit there at the end. But, yeah, I definitely saw a lot of fight in that Buffalo's team. Respect is what I'm saying, I guess. Respect.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program here. Wildcats defeat the Colorado Buffaloes by a score of 34-31. They are now 7-3 on the season. We were kind of talking about the potential for what next week could be because we don't have that game scheduled yet. So just to kind of go back, I was doing some extra looking there during the break. So the networks have the choices now. So it's going to be one of the national networks. Fox and ESPN still have not chosen their games. So I would think regardless, Arizona is going to be on one of those networks. Now, they had two early window games today. I believe Fox had the 2 o'clock game, which is the game that we're watching right now. Washington and Utah was the game on Fox today. And then the other early game was the Washington State, California game, and that game is on ESPN2. So ESPN, I would think with the fact that Fox had the big game, that probably means that ESPN gets the next choice. So potentially, and that's why we talked beforehand, that potentially it could be game day next week here.
Yeah.
If ESPN decides to take that game and bring the traveling roadshow back to Tucson for the first time since 2015.
If I'm a bunch of nerdy producers sitting in some big room and I'm looking at Noah Fafita as a freshman, T-Mac is the best wide receiver in the country, the turnaround, all the things, the storylines. I mean, why wouldn't Arizona be top of that list?
Yeah.
I would think so. All right, again, 520-848-1290. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. You can listen to the program on our website, Wildcats Radio 1290, via stream. Alexa's got us as well. Just say, Alexa, I want to listen to the Wildcats Radio 1290. The post-game show will pop up there. You can also watch us. This show is streaming video on 4 different platforms. We're YouTube, we're Facebook Live, we're Twitch, at Wildcats Radio 1290, and we are Twitter at Wildcats 1290. Let's talk to Rick. You're on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show. It's Wildcats Radio 1290.
Well, it's not Rick, it's Tyreek. I'm a big fan of Glenn Howell and all of you guys.
Hey, what's Tyreek? What's up?
What's up, man? I just wanted to know, out of the 3 phases of the game, special teams, blocking, and tackling, which one did you think they played the best in?
I think they tackled really well. Listen, they had some plays that were guys, if they would have broke one tackle, they would have been gone.
Wait, Tyreek, you're talking special teams tackling or they're just the game as a whole?
Just the game as a whole.
Oh, okay.
And,
I mean, to me, yeah, absolutely. I mean, now Shadir got his yards on the ground, but they did a great job, I thought, of bottling him up on a lot of those runs. And there was one run, the Dalton Johnson tackle on 3rd and 5.
Where he just tackled him.
Yeah, right in the middle of the field. That was one that really stood out to me.
Well, I think this year has been one of the best years that they have where they had good tackle play up front on defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the D-line, Norton played a great game.
Forced a fumble.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Batted down 2 passes.
Yeah, batted 2 passes.
I think he's getting a game ball.
Absolutely. and Upshaw was putting pressure. Ugalele was on him all the time, and even Co was doing a good job up front. Savea, all these guys were playing up front. The thing that I'm really impressed with is that we have a lot of kids that are playing that are really young, that are playing at a high level. You know, you look at Dominic Lassio, who came into the game.
Yeah, he made that tackle.
He made that tackle where where the running back was running and could have made the first down, and he made the tackle because he hustled from the line of scrimmage. He was running back, and he made the tackle and knocked the guy down. And those are kind of things, those guys, and all these guys, and all these people thinking about development of players.
Right.
We got a lot of players here that are sophomores, freshmen, and juniors that have been developed in the last couple of years. They're being able to play at this level, at a high level.
I agree. I think that front is really doing well. And so that's where the game starts at. But look, I'm not going to hold you guys up, man. I just want to say congratulations to you guys for departing that knowledge. And I think the Cats played really well today.
Tyreek, thank you.
And your son, man, is winning some ball games over there at Bowling Green.
Yeah, they're doing all right. They're doing all right.
Oh, this is Tyreek from Saguaro High School. Tyreek, okay. I was like,
Mr. Rasul.
Yeah. Tyreek.
There
Okay.
you go.
I'm Tyreek from Troy High School.
Yeah, from Troy
High
School.
School, Tyreek. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Good to
Well,
hear
I was
from you,
listening
brother.
good luck. Have a good day.
All right, Tyreek. Thank
All
you for
right.
calling. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. When you talk about on the defensive side of the ball, and again, you mentioned it early in the ball game, and Glenn, you can maybe kind of break this down for us. One of the things that they were doing early with the rush was they were rushing three guys, but they were also kind of keeping a lineman back. Well, talk us through kind of what that is right there.
Well, what they were doing, it was trying to give him no lanes, because if you open it up in the middle, he can go through the middle and rush. So we had a guy that was almost like a safety valve,
right,
that would come. So you let the rush and they collapse the pocket, and then let him step up in the middle, and then the outside guys will, if you have somebody there and he's pushing from the front, then you collapse that pocket, and then you can make a sack.
And we talk about coach.
And they did that a couple times.
Yeah, a couple times. And we mentioned coaching and how this defense has been coached up this season. And I sent out a tweet during the game it was after the play where Prysock got the pass deflection on the deep ball attempt to Travis Hunter, and it took me back to training camp, and one of the drills that they were running, and I don't know what the drill is called, but I called it eyes, because that's what Johnny Richardson, the defensive back coach, would keep yelling every time, and essentially it's when the defensive back needs to turn back and look for the ball.
Yeah.
And he would shout, in practice, he would shout out eyes.
Yeah.
At the time that he wanted his guys to turn back and look for the ball, because it's throughout the time of football, one of the things we always have talked about, how defensive backs don't turn back enough when the ball is in the air and they get called for pass interference. And that was a perfectly executed technique there that we saw in the fall in practice that they worked on to get that pass deflection on a player like Travis Hunter.
Absolutely. What DB used to do is that you would think about, you look for the hands. If the hands come up of the wide receiver, then your eyes. Okay? Now wide receivers, what they're doing is they're waiting for the last second to throw their hands up when they see the ball. They're not going to go running like this, where they're coming like this. They're going to go run, boom, put their hands out. So it's real important when you see the arms moving, okay, that's when you get the eyes. So now it's like, it's really, and you have to practice that. You got to practice that all the time. And you can tell what our guys are just playing technique football. And if you're playing technique football, guys, that's, fans, that's good coaching. That's good coaching. That's what coaching comes in. And if you see it, and we've talked in years past about some horrible, stuff that was happening when we were, and it's just a matter of guys buying in and, really believe it. And when it happens as an athlete, sometimes you say, oh, man, I don't need to do that because I'm so good. I got great athletic ability. But you know what? I was always saying to myself, I couldn't have played at a level that I played at if I didn't have good technique.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't the greatest athlete of all those guys, but I had great technique, and that made me survive. So I was always a believer in technique, and these guys are playing some really good technique.
Plus, you and Wesley went after each other so much when you were younger that you got that fight in you.
Wesley was a good athlete. Wesley was a heck of an athlete, but my brother was a really good athlete. But he was a little bit better than I was.
I only bring up your brother because I was listening to Phil and Paul. I'm like, normally I'm used to brothers kind of, busting each other's chops. Those guys were very apologetic. Oh, no, you go first. Oh, no, it's your turn. Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I was like, hey, I heard Glenn and Wesley talk to each other. They don't talk to each other like that.
No, we be arguing. Right. And we be telling, I just told him, I said, dude, you guys lost the Pacific last night?
On basketball?
Cal basketball?
Yeah.
Are
you kidding me?
We had Wesley on before the Cal win, right?
Yeah.
When they broke the streak of that 20-game losing streak. We had Wesley on the pregame for an interview live during that pregame right before they broke that 20-game losing streak.
Absolutely.
We talk about we obviously in the pregame show we were really talking up to Dwayne Aquina, but going back to what I was talking about, Jay Richardson needs to get some love too for what he has done with those defensive backs this season.
I always call out Coach Rich. It's not all Dwayne. I think it's a collaboration of all the minds in that group, and I think
Chuck Cecil too.
Yeah, Chuck Cecil. I think all those guys. I think you really have to be able, as a coach, just like the players, have to be able to absorb information, because sometimes you get set in your ways. And, that's why I say the day you know everything is the day you know nothing. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So I'm always, like I go to clinics all the time. And, sometimes you may not get something, but you might get that little nugget, and these guys are really getting better and better by the atmosphere there.
And since we're giving love to defensive coaches, I believe today was Ricky Hunley's birthday.
Yep.
So a shout out to Ricky Hunley. Absolutely. One of the best to ever put on the uniform here at the University of Arizona. Like you just said, the GOAT. A happy birthday to Coach Rick, man. That's I know he is extremely thrilled with the way his defense helped pull out another win for this program. All right, let's get a break in here, and we'll come back and more for you. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show with J.W. Madden, Glenn Howe, Kelvin Efon. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else, with the biggest pre- and post-game coverage in the Pac-12. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K, nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park within the Vail School District. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rock & K with home safety.
Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona beats Colorado by a score of 34-31 on a last-second field goal in Boulder. Let's go back to Folsom Field and into the Wildcats locker room.
A one, a two, a 1, 2, 3. Bear down, Arizona. Bear down, Red Blue. Bear down, Arizona. Hit 'em hard, let 'em know who's who. Fight, fight. Bear down, Arizona. Bear down, Red Blue. Go, go, Wildcats, go, Arizona. Bear down.
There is nothing better.
One of the greatest hits.
Nothing better than a winning locker room at Arizona and the singing of Bear Down after a 34-31 win over the Colorado Buffaloes. We were talking about Tyler Loop, who kicked 2 field goals now. He is 45 of 50 on his career. He is now tied for the best percentage all time. You needed to get to 50 kicks to get into the qualifying for this, and he did so today. So if he makes his next one, he will be the all-time leader at 90.2% ahead, just 2 percentage points ahead of Brett Baer. They're both tied because they both made 45 out of 50. That was Baer's career, 3 years at Louisiana. And, of course, Tyler Loop still has plenty of time to take over the top spot there.
He didn't play in 2020. Was that a red shirt or COVID? Because I know he's a junior, but I'm just curious if he has the eligibility for the 5th year, if he could come back for that COVID year still.
I would think he probably does, but yeah, that would be something we would definitely want to find out for sure. Real quick check, and we'll do the full scoreboard later on your Mesquite Valley Growers Pac-12 scoreboard. Now final up at Husky Stadium in Seattle. Washington, the number 8 team in the country, the number 5 team in the country, knocks off 18th ranked Utah 35-28. So the Utes fall to 7-3, 4-3 in conference. Washington remains 10-0, 7-0. They are in line to be the team in the Pac-12 that potentially gets a bid to the college football playoff and at least an opportunity to play for the championship. That would be in Las Vegas in the first week in December. So let's just take right now a quick look at the standings. Arizona at the moment is in 4th place in the Pac-12 conference. Washington is 7-0. Oregon is 5-1. The Ducks play against the USC Trojans tonight. The Trojans and the Wildcats are both 5-2. Oregon State is also winning at the moment. They are 4-2. Outside of the Huskies, though, with 10 straight wins, the longest winning streak in the conference right now belongs to your Arizona Wildcats at 4 consecutive victories. All right, let's recap our keys to the game.
Were the Cats able to unlock the keys to the game? Let's look at our pregame keys to the game. They are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, we'll start with what Kelvin Efon thought needed to happen today.
I think first and foremost, I think we need to play turnover-free football. Colorado is real opportunistic. They figure out a way to get turnovers. That Shadir Sanders guy, got to watch him because he'll jump your routes. We've talked about how Colorado jumps route. I think we're going to have to really be smart, and run some hitch and goes and really run that ball at them a little bit because, again, they will jump in the passing lanes and really jump those short routes that we love so much. Secondly, I think we got to get some points on the board early. I think that'll take some confidence away, and then that'll make Colorado one-dimensional where they'll just be passing, which they don't really run much anyway. But if they just get the passing, I think our defense can take advantage and possibly get a couple picks. And I think we have to play clean in special teams. I think we have to do a good job. They have a lot of athletes on their special teams. Deion really believe in running kicks back, running punts back. So I think our guys have to be ready in punt coverage and kickoff coverage to make sure they tackle and get those guys on the ground.
All right, so no turnovers, obviously for the for either team in this ball game, as we mentioned at the top. It wasn't necessarily. I mean, again, Tyler Loop made 2 field goals, put 6 kicks into the back of the end zone. So another extraordinarily great game for him. Ostendorf did not punt as well as I would have liked it. He shanked that first one. Finished with 6 kicks. I didn't know. I mean, there were 12 punts in this game, which was more than you would think for a game that finished at 34-31. He finished with a 45 average, had a 49 long, but just 1 kick inside the 20 compared to their outstanding kicker Vassett, who put 3 inside the 20 and 2 inside the 5.
He was funny in that interview.
Good.
He said this thing where he's like, "Man, I'm from Australia, so I don't worry about those punts that hit the nose." Like he doesn't even practice that. He says that comes naturally because that's the way he grew up kicking.
Yeah,
so he has to
kicking
practice
a rugby
spirals. He's got to practice the opposite. So he's practicing tight spirals. That whole end over end where it dies right inside the 10, he just naturally can do it.
Yeah, he was absolutely fantastic. I was expecting a little bit more from Kyle. I was thinking, thin air. Let's get a boomer. Let's boom it all the way back. I didn't think he kicked it very far. I thought he was going to get, at least some 60 yarders because he had an opportunity to let it loose. Because usually, as all his other punts have been, inside the 50, or out a little bit outside the 50. And I think he just got to get a little bit better on that. And that's going to be important.
And I thought I said during the game, I thought the Wildcats could get to 2 bills in the run game,
and we got it.
And they got to 2 bills in the run game with Jonah Coleman and DJ Williams. What were Glenn's keys?
My keys to the game. Obviously, as usual, I have a steady diet. We got to run the football. They're susceptible to the run. These guys give up a lot of yards on the ground. We got to do some ball control. I think we got to be able to make sure that we're running the ball, taking 6-minute, 7-minute drives. Let's do that. Let's narrow it down, and we don't have to pass the ball all over the field today. I think we need to take care. Don't give the ball to Shadur Sanders over on the other side. The other thing, I agree with Kelvin. We have to be very, very careful with our short game. These guys are going to jump some routes. They got a guy, like I said before, that's one of the best DBs in the game of football, coaching that kid, Travis Hunter, and understanding that the keys of what these guys, he's probably going to look at their footwork, how their stances are, all those kinds of things to give that key of doing that short pass or that bubble screen or anything that they're doing. So we have to be able to be careful with that. We need a big play on special teams. I like to see a return, get the return game going. We have a good returners. We got to return the football. So let's do that. And also, we got to have on the defensive side of the ball, we need to get to Shadur Sanders. Do not let him sit in the pocket and throw the football. We need to put pressure on him. We need to get him rattled. We need to knock him off his spot. And then when he runs, we need to punish him.
All right, before you say anything, the Wildcats lost the time of possession in this game, 31 to 32 to 28. These were their time of possessions.
I know, it was
1 minute 18 seconds, 2 minutes 48 seconds, 1 minute 25 seconds, 2 minutes 18 seconds, 2 minutes 23 seconds, 1 minute 31 seconds, 2 minutes 19 seconds, 2 minutes 7 seconds. The longest drive was at the end, 3:27, 2:05, 1:18, and that final drive, which was 11 plays, 67 yards, went for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's a real easy reason why. 4 out of 12 from third down. I mean, they've been so dominant these last few weeks. We're not used to 4 out of 12 on third downs.
Yeah, you can't move if you don't move the chains. You don't extend the drives. So we didn't do very good on that one. Not at all.
And what were my keys?
So one of my keys is I want to see a big special teams play, but I want it to be a long field goal for Lucas Haversack.
Field goal.
Absolutely agree with you. You've got to put the pressure on Shedeur Sanders in this ball game today. I want to see 4+ sacks. I want to see high sack numbers today from this defense. And again, we mentioned this is a Colorado team that likes to jump routes. So let's get big plays out of that offensively. I'd like to see them maybe take the reins off of Noah Fafita a little bit and let him try. Let's Kelvin mentioned earlier in the week some double move routes, and let's see if we can get the ball downfield for, our yak has been good. Less yak, more yards off the pass.
Yeah.
How about that in this particular ball game? I'd like to see some. In terms of 20-yard plays, let's get 5 to 6 20-yard plays in this ball game against that offense.
He had a 26-yarder to Tataroa. That was his longest. And I think he had another one, and then 31-yarder to Montana Lamonius Craig. So they had some big plays. It didn't get to the 5 I wanted in this game. Got the game win, the big field goal there, which was the game-winning field goal. 3 sacks, which is, again, it just seemed at times like Shedeur Sanders just was standing back there all day long with a chance to either throw the ball or run the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
Colorado's given up the most sacks this year of any team, right?
Yeah.
So, maybe that's due to how long he's standing back there.
Yeah.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Those are your keys to the game.
Brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, we weren't sure what the situation with Michael Wiley was going to be. He got injured at the end of that UCLA game. He did come into the ball game though and caught one big pass. I think that might have been the only play he played, because I don't remember seeing him again after that. But it was a 3rd down play, and it went for 13 yards to move the chains early. So Michael Wiley, even though he didn't play a lot, came in and made a big play in that ball game today. And I want to shout out another guy, DJ Warnell.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't get a lot of chances in the special teams anymore, just because, again, we go back to the fact that there aren't a lot of returns, but it seems like when there is a return, he's down there making a tackle. And then with some of the injuries and attrition, Martell Irby had to go out of the ball game. He came in and got a big sack today. Yeah,
he did, absolutely. He played great today. I think he took advantage of his time that was in there, and that's what I'm saying. These guys are coming in, and we're not missing a step.
Yeah,
that's you can't pick on me,
right?
Because when there's a guy that sits up in the booth and he's the personnel guy. And he's like telling, we got a new guy in there. Let's go right at him. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
You can't. They're not getting any successful plays.
Well, and they did get the one. I mean, they beat they beat Martell Irby in the end zone to get the touchdown to Jimmy Horn.
Yeah.
And I think that's that way. And the one thing, as soon as I said that, I said, well, Martell in coverage that deep is not really what you want.
Yeah. He's not, and then I thought he should have had a little bit more help over the top.
Yeah.
So I don't think because there was nobody on that side, so he should have been. I think he should have been pressing that sideline a little bit more.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We will hear from the head coach, the players as well. We'll get to your highlights, much more coming up. We'll review our best bets of the game as well. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show. Wildcats go down to Boulder and come out a winner, 34-31 on a game-winning 24-yard field goal at the buzzer by Tyler Loop. We will come right back to you. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you in part by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog and Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Pulse the Results team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot, Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Did you spend money on your AC?
Wealth Management postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona knocks off Colorado 34-31 in Boulder. Wildcats coming home for their final game of the season. That'll be next Saturday against the Utah Utes. Kickoff on that will be decided by the networks on Sunday, and we probably also on Monday will find out the time of the Territorial Cup game, which will be on the following Saturday up in Tempe. We are making plans to be up in Tempe for the Territorial Cup game. We will keep you abreast of all of that as we get things going. Want to hear from you, though, on this tremendous Saturday night in Tucson, early football, and a chance to celebrate tonight in the city. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program, 520-848-1290. And let's see, we got, we talked to Paul earlier, but he checks in again. Or actually, this was from this morning, but I'll read Paul's text. He says, David, this is exactly why we need to remodel the west side of the stadium, to shrink the seat count in that stadium so that we can only get the people who really want to be there and want to come to a game and stay late for the game or whatever, and weed out some of the very marginal fans. I think that was a reaction to my little rant this morning about how people were complaining about start times and that kind of thing.
So Arizona hasn't been to a bowl since Rich Rod's last season.
Correct. The Foster Farms Bowl.
Don't you think if they go to 5 consecutive bowls or what, if they were in a situation, guys, where they've had 8, 9, 10 wins these past 5 years, the stadium would be different. That's their building. I mean, there's Darragh fans there, but that stadium will fill up. Continue to win. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Let's hope so. That's what we want to see. Great job by the offensive line today, I thought, in this game. We're starting to see Raymond Polito now kind of come into his own and into that right guard position. And I think that was, getting him in there and what he brings to this program has been key. The tight ends continue to block very well. Roberto Miranda, I thought he had a key block on that first touchdown by DJ Williams. Tanner McLaughlin continues to dominate in the run game, and it only took us a year and a half to get Wendell's name correctly. Apparently, it's Wendell Moy and not Wendell Mo, as we all thought it was for the first season plus of his time here in Tucson. But I mean, he just on one of those Jonah Coleman runs, he just absolutely pile drove a dude into the turf.
He looks like he's having a little fun.
Wendell?
Okay, because when you're an old lineman and you're just dominating, picking cats up and just pile driving in them and running them down, and then. You know what I like about what they're doing? They're like looking at the guys getting over the top of them, and then just walking back nice and slow. That's what I like.
Players on our team combined have gained 994 pounds, which is one saltwater crocodile.
Yeah,
we got some crocodiles.
Maybe that we need to make that into our nickname, the saltwater crocodiles, the croc cats, or something like that.
I've heard a lot of complaints in this city in the last 40 years about U of A football, and the chief among them is size on both lines, both sides of both defensive and offensive lines. So, I mean, that you point at one thing, guys, Glenn. I mean, you've talked so much in these last 4 or 5 games about how good both lines have looked. I mean, how long has that been since we said that?
Yeah, it has. And then you look at the defensive line of these guys. These guys are all young. They're all young.
Yeah.
And they're going to put on another 15, 20 pounds.
Sophomore. Moy, I should say, is a sophomore. Savianai is a sophomore.
All of them.
Polito's a freshman.
Yeah. They're gonna put on some more solid, and they're gonna look pretty aggressive.
And that's when you don't need to go like double reverse or in this garbage. You just go right at them.
Exactly.
Try and stop.
But
us.
again, Glenn, you obviously you have a problem, I think, with this short passing game, this quick screen being a part of what I say. It's just an extension of the run game. It allows for them to get the ball on the perimeter to their skilled players and get yards.
I understand that, but I think there's a bigger risk in that play because one of these times somebody's going to jump that play. and it's not going to be good.
You're talking about when they lined like 3 wide receivers up on one side? Yeah.
And
the
then
whole thing.
they're going to learn how to slip that play. And I just don't want to get a pick six. I think we should, just give it. I think we're getting to the point where we can just say we're going to run it over here. I
don't know. I don't know if I go that far yet.
But we're getting pretty close. I'm telling you that we just got to be able to just enforce our will on people.
I mean, Jonah and DJ in particular, right? I mean, those two guys run through people.
All right, let's talk to John. You're on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
It's Pac-12 officiating on any level, whether it's basketball or football. It's just, it's so inconsistent and just not good.
John,
now,
John, I'm going to stop you real quick right there. I don't think it's look. The people I said this 2 weeks ago. I've heard people complain about Pac-12 officiating my entire time here. I'm listening this season to people complain about officiating in the National Football League, and I every Friday night I listen to parents complain about officiating in high school football. I mean, again, do we just want to take the human element out of this? Because we can do that, and then people won't have jobs.
No, I don't want to do that, but I just don't feel like it's. First of all, with basketball, they enforce, freedom of movement, this and that, but that's not how the games are called in the tournament. So all year long, the officiating that we have in basketball, and I'm getting on a tangent here, doesn't set us up for the best to be successful. As opposed to the conferences that play a more physical, a little more contact is allowed. When a football move was made on a dude that gets tackled and driven back 4 yards, I can't find logic in that.
I don't think that most people have a problem, just from my perspective, with officiating so much as the inconsistency. And if you look at that play with the, quote, pick, where T-Mac came across the middle, that was not a pick, but they called it a pick. And then 2-3 plays later, T-Mac goes deep because it was 3rd and 26 or whatever. And T-Mac's on the sidelines, and the defensive back didn't turn around and had his hands clearly on T-Mac's arm, and that was not called. So not that those were the same play. I just think most fans out there would like there to be consistency if it's a similar play that they call it the same both times.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, I'm not one to pin things on officiating because there's plays that you can make to win a game. So a call here, a call there isn't going to dictate an outcome, but a few calls can be huge in the game. With that said, I'm so proud and happy of this program, really. I mean, all year long, we have been the most physical team in the game. And I can't remember last time. It probably goes back to Kelvin's time where we were the most physical team week in and week out. And, I mean, we're moving people on offense. We're getting pressure on defense. And in the past, if we would have lost our first-string running back and maybe our first-string quarterback, we probably would have had a 3-win season. So the level of depth and quality and development that has come from this program in 2.5 years, I don't think that we can say enough about that.
I just got done talking to Glenn about both sides of the line, but the depth is the other thing we've talked about for decades, right? There's never, you always see tired defensive linemen, especially in the fourth quarter games for Arizona, and that's so impressive. Kudos goes out to the staff for getting those guys ready and really recruiting depth at those positions.
And, honestly, Glenn, you hit the nail on the head. Our team is young. So, to see the level of success that we're having already when these guys are just going to continue to develop within the program, it just speaks to where the program's headed, in my opinion. I mean, 7 wins right now just feels really good. And I don't have anything to complain about, really. We play hard. I mean, the penalties they almost cost us this game. And, we didn't play our best game. This is the worst game that we've played with Fafita starting at quarterback for the games that he's started. And yet in the fourth quarter, we dominated. We got 2 stops, and we were able to score, and we ran out the clock. And, down the road, that's championship-level football.
Well, and this team has been dominating in the fourth quarter for about the last 5 weeks. I mean, I think Brian had the number in the postgame show. It was something like 42-10 or something.
Well, it was 10-0 today, and against UCLA it was 10-0.
That's 20-0.
And against Oregon State it was 14-14.
All right, so that's
and against
34-14.
Washington State it was that was a blowout anyway, but 14-0. And then
48-14.
Yeah, and then against USC in that triple overtime loss, they scored 8-7. So
yeah, so 48-14 at least in the last 4 games of this winning streak.
Everything about the way that they're going about it, I have very complimentary of everything. The coaching is outstanding for the development of the position players. And, we really don't have a weakness on our team right now. As I look around, we don't have a true weakness. You can't point to a kicker that can only kick it 42 yards. And, maybe our punter could kick a little higher. That would be nice. But it's just a pleasure. It's a pleasure to watch quality, hard-nosed football. And that's really all I have to say about it. It's just been, I've been a diehard fan my whole life, living and dying with 2-10 teams. So to see excellence, we're playing really quality football right now. And it's a pleasure to watch.
I wouldn't mind seeing another linebacker. Right now, Jacob Manu's playing at a high level, but I don't know that any of the other linebackers are at that same level. I'd like to see another solid linebacker on this defense.
And, the cool thing about it is he's doing it through high schools for the most part. So he's developing young talent and then sprinkling in, the transfer portal. So he's not dependent on that, trying to get players to gel in 1 year. So, to go get one linebacker, I can absolutely see that. There's no reason why people would want to come play here.
Exactly. If you're a high school student right now and you're looking at what's going on at Arizona Stadium in Tucson, that looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun going on down there.
Absolutely. And another thing, John, is that we can't forget some of the most important people that are on this staff. Not only the coaching staff that coaches positions, it's also the strength and conditioning staff and the athletic trainers. You got to give kudos to Tyler Owens. His staff has done a great job of getting these kids prepared, getting them bigger, getting them stronger, getting them faster, everything. And then you got to give Kevin Kinkawanga Gawai, I think how you say, I don't know how to say that last name, but Kevin, I know who Kevin is. I say hi to him on the sideline, but he's the head athletic trainer. If you notice, we don't have a lot of guys that are out for a long period of time. We don't have a lot of guys. They're getting the treatment, the getting better. The wellness of our kids are really, really getting really good.
And that was evident to me back in training camp.
Yeah.
Just because there was some, especially that one scrimmage, it was where it was it felt like it was 120 degrees down on there. And I didn't see one guy with his hands on his knees.
Yeah. And then Tanner Graves, who's the director of nutrition. So you got a guy that is tearing them down, Tyler Owens, and then you got, Tanner, who's building them back in, repair and replenish. That's the thing you got to do, is you got to repair and replenish, and getting them. And then you have Kevin down there taking care of making sure they can get back on the field. So you got to give kudos to their staffs. It's not just them, it's their staffs, all their staff. And don't forget John Shaw. John Shaw is the guy, the speed guy for this team. I think he needs to maybe work on Coleman a little bit so he can get that last 20 yards. but those guys are doing a great job of getting our guys prepared.
And absolutely, the strength, the level of McMillan is a perfect example. I'm watching him break through, just shrug guys off to get an extra 4 yards to get a first down. He couldn't have made those plays last year. He wasn't strong enough. And the development, they all deserve a ton of credit because it takes an entire village really to make a football program work. And, I feel like this is the first time we've truly invested big time into our football program. and win about it the right way so that we can actually sustain excellence.
And they definitely have all the bells and whistles too to do all that stuff.
It's just
too.
it's been awesome, man.
For
I mean, we
90
play
days at
hard.
least.
We're in every game, and when we're imposing our will in the fourth quarter, that goes right back to TO and the level of fitness that we have to be dominating in the fourth quarter. So, we're talking about football, and we beat Duke yesterday. It's a good weekend to be a Wildcat.
Yes, it is.
Good point.
Johnny, we appreciate your call. Thank you.
Hey, y'all bear down. Have a great night.
Absolutely. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Let's hear from Brant. You are on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day Postgame Show, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey guys, great show. Really enjoyed listening to you. And this question is for Glenn. Glenn, I'm a big fan of yours. You're an amazing individual, had an amazing career, and do great things for the community. And you're a great representative for our kids, our young people. So tell me, was the best bowl experience perhaps the Sun Bowl for you? And I feel like this team's on a similar trajectory to a great bowl game. What are they going to look forward to? How much does this mean to them?
Well, first of all, let me thank Brent, my boy. That's my boy, Brent. Now, you're a guy that does a lot for this community. This guy does a ton for this community. He's a great dad, just a great husband and everything. One of my boys, man. Brent, my best experience, the only experience I had was the Sun Bowl. Sun Bowl was a great experience. That's a great thing for our guys to have, to be able to go to a great bowl. I think we continue to win, we're going to get to a better and better bowl every time we get a win. If we get to 9 wins, we might get into the Holiday Bowl or something like that. Holiday Bowl is pretty nice, and we might be getting up there in those kind of bowls.
As I like to say, if we continue to win, we're gonna start messing up Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it'll be great for those guys, and that's a great experience, man. Going to the Sun Bowl. We played Georgia in the Sun Bowl, and unfortunately we tied them. We had a great time down there. I still got my Tony Lamas boots. They fitted me. I had size 15, so they fitted my boots, and it's a great time. And I hope these guys get that same experience.
Right on. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thanks,
Brant. Thank you for calling in. We appreciate you. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Let's get a break in here. We'll come back to our best bets. I think I'm going home with some money after J-Dub took all my money last night.
That's not how this works. I didn't take your money. I won money from the casino, and you did it. That's how that works.
All right. However you want to present it, J-Dub. You had the money last night. All right. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show. Wildcats knock off Colorado 34-31, 4 straight wins. With Kelvin Efon, Glenn House, and J.W. Madden, I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you in part by Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, the Tucson Police Department, Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, and University Termite and Pest Control.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K, nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain.
is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
34-31, the final in Boulder today. Arizona knocks off the Colorado Buffaloes. Let's head back over to the Rocky Mountains and hear from the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. The thoughts after the ball game from Deion Sanders.
Pensive.
He's looking at his phone, apparently.
Oh, I'd like to thank the Lord for allowing us to go out there and play the best of our ability. Fought hard, played tough. Just had a wonderful conversation with the team as well as the seniors who will never get to play here again. And I apologize on behalf of just myself, staff, or the support staff that we didn't send them out right in which we wanted to because they deserve it. Apologizing to the fan base. They've been supporting the heck out of us, and they've been showing up and showing out another sellout crowd that ended in disappointment. We're so close, is what I told the team, but yet so far. We just simply truly don't know how to win yet. And it's not for lack of effort, not for lack of coaching with the staff or the support staff, the trainers and strength and conditioning and everybody around. They're doing a phenomenal job. We just can't get over that hump. Another game right there. And I don't know from your advantage point, your viewpoint, but it seemed like we were the better team. And we just couldn't get it done. And the best thing about it is that in our first year, we haven't even been here a year, but we're right there. I mean, we're right there in all these darn games, except for one when we got our butts slaughtered in Oregon, that we've had an opportunity to win. Defensively, we surrendered a lot of yards rushing in 207. Thank God we ran for 77 yards. I don't think we eclipsed that in a minute. Shador was efficient and effective. Receivers did some pretty good things. We had a couple drops out there. But the defense, we weren't consistent as we've been the last two games. Our punter was phenomenal. Mark is unbelievable. He's a pro. And the Mata finally missed. I love him, though. I love him to life. And he's been knocking it down for us all year. So he is certainly not to blame because he's one of the reasons we're in the game consistently every week. But I really hate it for our fan base because they deserve so much better, and we're going to give them better. We're going to give them better, but we're close. We're really close, and I hope they could see it. I hope you could see it. I hope the country could see that we have no quit in us. Our guys came ready to play. They really did. We came up short. Let's go.
All right, that is Deion Sanders, the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes.
Did he say?
I don't know if I agree that they were a better team than Arizona.
Did he say anything about that was a good team we played? Did he say that? I didn't
hear that. No, I did not hear that.
No, they should record that and make sure the next time we play them, Colorado, we play that.
Well, no, I get it. They're 1-6 in the conference after starting out so strong, and I understand that he's prideful and that they're close. They're close in every game, other than that Oregon game. I get all that stuff. Pre-game and all this week, he's been talking about how much respect he's got for Coach Fish, how big, how much it's obvious how that team down there in Tucson is what he said, is really learn how to win. They're putting something special together. So obviously he feels all that. So it's not as if he doesn't know that stuff. But yeah, clearly I think 4 losses in a row, and especially that last game at home. I mean, you're going to hear a coach a little bit more sad about what happened to his team than pointing out the other side.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. What did you think about Deion's comments there? Who was the better team today? Was it Arizona? Was it Colorado? The Wildcats got the win, though, 34-31. Let's find out who's taking home the money tonight.
How did the 1290 crew do today with their best bets? Let's find out how they did in today's pregame show. Today's best bets are brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
So last night, J-Dub took home all the money. He took the Wildcats in basketball, and he took the under, and that was the play. Tonight, though, I think I'm taking home the money. Woo-hoo. I said this was going to be a close game. 9.5 was a little bit too much for my liking, and Arizona. So I took Colorado on the points. That is a winning ticket, and we took the over. We both took the over. Yeah,
Yep.
the over was it? I forget what it was. It was 54, I believe.
Yep.
54, and it ended at 65.
Yep.
So
bring on the money.
Glenn splits his ticket.
Yep.
But I cash both of mine. And so what did you think? Well, okay, J-Dub was on the phone there, so we won't get a chance to hear from him on that. But yeah, I mean, just a big win for the Arizona Wildcats as they come home now to take on the Utah Utes next Saturday. We don't know if it's a day game. I think it's probably going to be an afternoon game just based on the way the windows are aligning so far for this particular team. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Glenn, when you look at yeah, okay. Glenn's got Prince.
That's gonna be my next one for in the huddle.
Got Prince firing up over there. Just what we heard from Deion Sanders there. Just what were your thoughts? Just overall thoughts on Shadir and what in your takeaways from him?
I think Shadir, if he gets a offensive line and some good running backs. A couple more receivers, that kid's going to be dangerous. That team is going to be absolutely dangerous. And I think his dad will get those guys next year. He'll get those guys out of the portal. He'll get some of those guys out of the recruiting. And I think because, you're looking at maybe that guy could be the first pick in the draft if he continues to develop and he gets some players around him. Because the kid's got a great sense of the pocket, and I have to. First time I ever agreed with Yogi. Okay.
Ever? Ever? Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's like that he does have a good sense of the pocket.
Yeah.
So I think when he can get healthy too, and he'll be, I think he's going to be a great quarterback.
In case listeners aren't aware, Michael Penix Jr. from Washington leads the nation in passing yards with 3,201. Caleb Williams from USC is second with 2,958. Shedeur Sanders is third in the nation in passing yards this year, 2,882.
Yeah, so he's not doing too bad.
Just to go over our pests that we picked before the ball game, brought to you by University Pest Control. You had Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
I don't know how many plays he ended up playing, but he was at 82 at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
So he played close to I don't think he got over 100, but he played close to 100 plays in this ball game. Ended the game with six tackles, one tackle for loss, one pass breakup, which was an amazing play where he was essentially playing two guys in the end zone and came back and got the deflection on a ball that was that Noah tried to sneak in to Jacob Cowing in the end zone. And then offensively, he finished the game with 5 catches for 74 yards on offense.
Wasn't
not
that big
run
of a
the
factor
ball.
on offense?
Not really. Was he not? And then
is that because our DBs were so good? I think that's probably what most of the thing, because I know he was aiming for him. I know Shadir was looking for him. So if he ain't there, that's what happens when you play good defense.
And then my guy on the pest for the Colorado Buffaloes was Jordan Dominic, and he only had one tackle in the game, but it was a tackle for loss, and so but not much
That's
of a
49,
factor.
right? Wasn't that 49?
Actually, he was 44.
44.
Number 44.
Okay.
Yeah. Good number. You gotta like any guy that wears number 44.
Yeah, that's Papa.
All right, those are your best bets.
And that's how the 1290 crew did with their best bets. Today's best bets were brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
Also, 24 touchdowns and 3 interceptions for Shadir this year. 24 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
That's pretty efficient job of taking care of the football for that young man. I really enjoyed watching him play today. I really enjoyed watching him play and just kind of the things he's able to do. And like you said, put a few more weapons around him, and he could easily be in that Caleb Williams, Michael Penix
you get him a tight end.
Yeah.
Get him a tight end.
Get him a Rome Odunze.
Also, bear in mind that guy's covered head to toe in bruises.
Yeah.
Because he's been getting killed.
getting
And he had a bad week because his Rolls Royce got booted on campus. So he's had a bad week.
Don't park
His
your
double
Rolls
R.
Royce in places where it is not supposed to be. All right, Glenn.
Double R.
Glenn, any final thoughts from you on this one?
I'm just proud of our Arizona Wildcats, and I'm proud of this coaching staff. I had my doubts about the hiring of Jed Fish. He keeps continuing to. We got to continue to get better. I think we're on our way to being a program. We still got a ways to go though, but we're taking steps. We're taking all steps in steps forward. And next week is going to be another crucial game for us to take another step.
Learning how to win ugly games where you don't play well, first you got to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
But winning those games where you're not maybe having your best game, that's definitely a big step on that staircase
Absolutely.
ladder, whatever you're talking about.
I think we'll come in to Utah very confident.
All right. Sounds good. We'll give out some
Bear
game
down.
balls on Tuesday. All right, Glenn Howe, that is the Arizona Wildcats tight end, 1985. Let's get a break in here. We'll come back. Highlights and scoreboard and more. 520-848-1290. If you want to get in on the final segment of the program, it's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show with J.W. Madden, Glenn Howe, Kelvin Efon. I'm David Kelly. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to. Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Arizona knocks off Colorado 34-31 on a last-second field goal, on a game-winning field goal, a walk-off field goal by Tyler Loop. Tyler Loop now tied for the best kicking percentage all-time in Division I college football at 90%, having made 45 of 50 kicks in his college career. We'll have the highlights coming up for you shortly, as well as we'll hear a little bit of what head coach Jed Fish had to say, including the plan on that last drive. Let's talk to Bart, though. You're on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
How you guys doing?
Good.
I just want to say how incredibly proud I am of this team. I mean, I've been following them since '82 when I was a freshman at U of A.
Nice.
And it's been a long 7-year drought. And I'm just thrilled, but I'm concerned because this article that came out, I think yesterday, that the U of A athletic program is bankrupt and out of money, and which is really storm clouds over what a wonderful weekend between the basketball team and the football team is. I mean, they're going to have to pony up some money to renegotiate Jed's contract.
Well, let me stop you real quick. Let me stop you real quick, Bart. It's not the athletic department that's bankrupt. It's the university as a whole that is going through a financial situation, and it's going to trickle down to every single department at the school, and athletics is one of those departments that is going to be affected by whatever cuts that President Robbins has to make from the top down.
Okay. Well, I just hope that, he's got a seat at the table to say, look, we can't afford not to pay him and his staff, because it certainly costs them a lot more if they have to start the football program over again from the bottom. Plus, I mean, I'm really excited about the Big 12 because the Big 12 doesn't have any dominant teams like USC and Oregon and Washington that are troublesome every year. It's good top to bottom, but we have a chance to win that conference every single year, I think, going in with a solid program. And this is not the time for us to have to go back to square one. I'm hoping a alumnus steps up and writes a check. I wish I could, but that's not fair. I'm just concerned. I don't want another Larry Smith situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely
Jay Johnson situation.
It's definitely something to be concerned with. They renegotiated his contract last year. That doesn't necessarily mean that they shouldn't do it again this year with what he has been able to do. There are bridges that are going to have to be crossed, and ultimately it's going to come down to Jed and what he wants. And if somebody else throws bigger dollars out there, at least that he hasn't, if he leaves, that he hasn't left this thing in shambles. I mean, it's going to be in a good position, and you try to go out if that happens, and we'd hope it doesn't. You just go out and get the next young up-and-comer and keep it going. That's what I've always said. I'd rather a coach leave me with the cupboard full so I can go out and get another young up-and-comer, not necessarily rebuilding it. Just get somebody else in the mold of a Jed Fish that can keep it going. Now, that guy takes us to the next step, and then he might leave, and then you get the next guy, and keep turning them over like that if that's what it is. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The financial situation at Arizona is definitely one to be concerned with. But this is a university thing, which obviously will trickle down to athletics.
They do also have slight control, this coaching staff, because all they got to do is keep winning. And Manu jerseys and Fafita jerseys and sales to tickets to the Arizona Stadium and all that, revenue coming in from the football team being successful, right? And I do know, Bart, that the athletic department did borrow a sum from the university and during COVID, and I think that's a part of, they have yet to pay that back. But certainly it's a situation they're going to have to figure out in the short term because, again, that news is just I don't think you should let that cloud over this weekend affect the joy that a longtime Wildcat fans are feeling after the game last night and the game today.
Right.
But definitely something that we all should be concerned about moving forward.
Well, and one quick suggestion. I mean,
I know we hate to do it, but ASU, I think, is making $3 million a year by naming their stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's time we do that. I mean, they're paying Dillingham $1 million a year more than Jed, which I don't understand. But I think let's name the stadium and give that money to Jed and the staff. I mean, I don't know. It seems like an easy one to me. But
it would not be a bad idea. I'm not, I'm not a big fan of those types of situations, but it's definitely something that they got to look at as a possible. I mean, and one of the things that President Robbins said in front of the regents last week was philanthropy is a way out of this. Well, that philanthropy is indeed that selling the naming rights to the stadium could potentially be one of those things that you might have to look.
It'd be tough to walk into the FTX.com Memorial McHale Center, one day. That would be tough.
Yeah, but it's the reality of college athletics. Anyway, bear down, and I'm hoping we put a hurting on ASU better than 72 to whatever they beat us a few years back. Revenge.
There you go, Bart. Appreciate your call.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, Bart.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights on this ball game today. Ironically, for a game we thought was going to be high scoring, both teams went 3 and out on their opening drives, and then a short punt by Kyle Ostendorp got returned 29 yards by Xavier Weaver. That gave Colorado a short field, and they needed just 3 plays to find the end zone and take the first lead.
Sanders out of the shotgun. Wilkerson to his right in the backfield. Sanders back to throw with time. Steps up in the pocket. Now rolling left. Now he'll run it. Open field to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Colorado. Shedeur Sanders.
7-0 Colorado at that point. Wildcats would go right back down and tie this game. 6 plays, 75 yards. Noah Fafita hit Montana Lamonius Craig in his return to Boulder. The former Buffalo for 31 yards was one of the big plays on that drive. Arizona was facing a 3rd and 1 at the Colorado 11.
Fafita out of the gun. DJ Williams to his right in the backfield. 2 tight ends right, 2 receivers left. Cowing in motion left to right. Handoff will go to Williams. He's inside the 5. He's in the end zone. DJ Williams, touchdown Arizona. Just like that. What a massive hole up the middle for DJ. Nobody touched him.
Colorado, though, would take the lead back later in that first quarter. They would drive 8 plays in 48 yards. Another short field they got. Starting at the 48-yard line for the Arizona Wildcats. And again, it would be Shedeur Sanders creating some magic.
Sanders out of the shotgun, back to throw. Time again. Fade to the corner, got a man open, and it's caught. Touchdown, Colorado. Beautiful pass. And Jimmy Horn Jr. pulled that one in. Back of the end zone. And the Buffaloes retake the lead.
14-7 the score, Colorado at the end of one quarter. Second quarter, Arizona would get the ball with 10:56 to go. First play, Noah Fafita was giving it to Jonah Coleman.
And Fafita out of the gun will take the snap. Hand off to Coleman. Got some room, breaks the tackle. He's out to the 40-yard line. 45, knocks a man down to the Colorado 40. 35 to the 30. Still loose down the near sideline. Inside the 15-yard line. Oh, they're going to mark him out, I believe, at the 23 where he stepped out. But Jonah Coleman refusing to go down. 1st and 10, Arizona.
All power that time. Jonah Coleman just runs through the hole, breaks 2 or 3 tackles, heads to the sideline, and just a spectacular run and display of just power and strength by Jonah Coleman.
49 yards on that run to the Colorado 23. Noah Fafita would hit Teroa McMillan for 17 yards to take the ball into the red zone. And then 4 plays later, it would be Noah back to throw again.
Fafita, Noah working out of the shotgun. Snap back, throws the pass, caught by Cowing. Cowing into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
Beautiful play. That was a wide receiver screen that they like to run, and Cowing just walks into the end zone untouched. Arizona grabs this momentum right back again to tie this one up.
But Colorado had fight today at home on their senior day. They would go right back down 10 plays, 75 yards, and take a 21-14 lead on a 1-yard touchdown run by Savion Wilkerson. Arizona, though, would get the ball with 3:03 to go, trying to get something going. Their drive, though, would stall at the Colorado 35-yard line. And like Jed Fish had said in his press conference, you got to let Tyler Loop kick it from there.
Is good. Trying to get the Wildcats a bit closer. Ball on the right hash. Snap, ball down. Kick is up. Going to have plenty of distance, and it is good.
Wasn't that your key today? Long field goal?
Yeah. That was. I said long field goal. I wanted 60 plus, but 52. We'll take a 52-yarder and a game winner. Not going to be mad about that. 21-17 was the score at that point. Colorado would add a field goal, a 39-yarder from Alejandro Mata right before the break, and so it was 24-17 at the half. Third quarter. Arizona deferred. They won the toss at the beginning of the game. They deferred, so they got the ball to start the third quarter. And it would be 3rd and 1 from the Arizona 34-yard line.
Cowing in motion, handoff. Coleman breaks it. First down and more. Coleman inside the 40 to the 30 to the 25 to the 20. Finally caught from behind inside the Colorado 15-yard line. Travis Hunter chased him down. That saved the touchdown. Second huge run of the day for Jonah Coleman.
54 yards for Jonah Coleman, and that would put the ball at the 12-yard line. 2 plays later, Arizona tied the game.
Fafita out of the shotgun. Noah fade to McMillan. One-handed catch. Back corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. T-Mac, how many times have we seen him use that one hand to haul it in?
That was spectacular.
The crazy thing to me, DK, about that play was how casual it was.
That's what he does, man. He is Mr. Smooth. Is Tetero McMillan, man. T-Mac is just an unbelievable wide receiver. It has been a pleasure to watch him over these 2 seasons. 24-24 at that point. Late third quarter, Colorado would take the lead. 8 plays, 35 yards. Again, they got a short field. Xavier Weaver had another punt return of 22 yards, so he really did a great job in the special teams arena for Colorado in this ball game. And it would be, again, first and goal at the Arizona 7.
Sanders will take the snap. Fake, fire to the end zone, caught, touchdown. Buffalo's back in the lead. Michael Harrison, their tight end, with the catch.
I like how the next punt return, right? The coverage got there as soon as he caught the ball, right? That was the last good punt return they had on the day.
Exactly. 31-24, Colorado would have the lead as we crossed over from the third quarter to the fourth quarter. Wildcats would have the ball, though. Late third quarter, Noah Fafita would find Tetero McMillan again for 26 yards. He would find him on, in fact, back-to-back plays for 26 and 19 yards. And the quarter would flip, and it was the first play of the fourth quarter. The Wildcats with first and goal at the 7.
On the right wing, Fafita stumbled a bit, hands off, DJ Williams into the end zone, touchdown, Arizona.
DJ Williams just accelerates off the right side and just pushes his way into the end zone. Beautiful drive by Arizona. Way to finish it and cap it off.
31-31 the score. Colorado got the ball back. They had some penalties that would they would have penalties later in the drive, but the drive kind of short-circuited on a 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Sanders will take the low snap, pick it up. Here comes the rush from behind. He is sacked. Back at the 26-yard line, the Cats brought the house, and it pays off.
DJ Warnell getting the sack there on Shedeur Sanders. Teams would exchange drives that did nothing. I was pretty surprised. There was a drive that the Colorado Buffaloes started with 7:06 to go. They got down, it was the drive before that. They had a drive with 10 minutes to go. They got down, and they had a 4th and 1 at their 44-yard line, and they chose to punt. That surprised me. When you're in the situation they are, 4-5, and senior day at home, I thought Dion would have gone for it on that particular play. He did not.
You think if they were one of the worst rushing teams in the entire country, that probably that 4th and 1 looks a little better. Than I think that might have been a part of that decision.
Wildcats, though, their next drive short-circuited. They would punt and give the ball back. And again, short field, Colorado got the ball at the 49-yard line. They would drive down to the Arizona 25-yard line, and they were faced with a 4th and 7. They lined up for a 44-yard field goal.
Here's the snap, ball down, kick is up. I don't know if it's going to make it, just enough room, and it is no good. Didn't look good coming off his foot.
Did not.
And Arizona will take over with 4:57 showing in a tie game.
44-yard field goal missed by Alejandro Mata, and the game stayed knotted up at 31-31. Wildcats took the ball at their own 26-yard line. Jonah Coleman on 2nd and 4 ran it for 21. And then on the next play, Jonah Coleman on 1st and 10 ran it for 24. Jonah Coleman, just outstanding. Wildcats got down into the red zone, and then they pretty much kneeled it out to force Colorado to take their final time out. And they let the clock run down to 2 seconds, sending Tyler Loop out with a 24-yard field goal to try to win the game.
Tyler Loop looking to win it. Buffs looking to block it. Here's the snap, ball down, kick is up, and the kick is good. It is over. Arizona has won it. 4 straight wins for the Wildcats. 7 wins on the season for Arizona. Another happy plane ride home to Tucson. Wow.
That's a major victory there. I don't care what anybody says. They came on the road in a tough environment. Colorado played their hearts out, but Arizona refused to die in this one. And at the end of the game, when it was all on the line, Arizona's offense showed up big, and they took it. They beat these guys on the road. A big-time victory for Arizona.
What do we say about the fourth quarter, Lamont? Here's your fourth quarter score. Arizona 10, Colorado nothing.
There it is.
The Cats win the game 34-31.
There's nothing better than a Lamont Lovett laugh at the end of the game. 34-31, the final. Couple of the numbers on this one. Jonah Coleman, 11 carries, 179 yards in the game. DJ Williams, 9 carries, 33 yards. He ran for 2 touchdowns. Noah Fafita finished 21-35, no interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 214 yards passing. Tetro McMillan had 9 catches for 107 yards and a touchdown. Montana Lamonius Craig, the former Colorado Buffalo, 5 catches for 67 yards. Jacob Cowing, 3 catches for 24 yards. He has now caught a pass in 54 consecutive games for Arizona. Tyler Loop made both of his field goals in this contest. Defensively, Jacob Manu and Ephesians Prysock led the way with 9 tackles. Manu, another sack for this team. Ephesians Prysock, a big pass breakup. Sacks for Isaiah Ward and DJ Warnell. You heard the one from Warnell. How about Bill Norton in this game? 2 pass breakups and a forced fumble defensively as the Wildcats knock off the Colorado Buffaloes by a score of 34-31. Want to go back right now and hear a little bit from Jed Fish as he talked about, this is courtesy of Justin Spears, the beat writer for the Arizona Daily Star, and he talks a little bit about that last drive and what the Wildcats were trying to accomplish there down the stretch.
Really, if you look at the way we've finished these games recently, we like to use all the clock there at the end. If a team wants to give us the ball with 6 minutes left, we want to use it all. And we felt we could mix the run and the pass as needed, keep the ball in bounds. You know, I thought we had a first down the drive before. They said the team went backwards after he caught it past the line, and then one of the rarest moves of all time on a 3rd and 2, the T didn't come down with that ball. So we had to get a great defensive stop there to give us the ball back, and then we wanted to use all of it at the end.
All right, that is the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats, Jed Fish, after this ball game, 34-31, the final for the Arizona Wildcats. Let's update you on your scoreboard with everything else that is happening around the Pac-12.
Here is today's Pac-12 scoreboard, brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery. On Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, one game still in progress. Number 12, Oregon State leading Stanford 55-17 in Corvallis. Oregon State looking to go to 5-2 in Pac-12 play. 3 finals, 2 others outside of the Wildcats' 34-30 win over Colorado. California beats Washington State at home 42-39. So the Golden Bears are 2-5 in conference play. Washington State falls to 1-6. Washington, the 5th-ranked Huskies, knock off Utah 35-28. Washington remains unbeaten at 10-0 and they are 7-0 in conference play. 2 games still to take place at 7 o'clock in Pasadena. Arizona State at 1-5 in conference will take on 3-3 UCLA. And the other big game of the day is at 8:30, and that'll be USC at number 6 Oregon. The Ducks are 8-1 and 5-1 in conference play. Taking a quick look at the top 25 ranked matchups today. Georgia currently in the second quarter leading. Number 2, Georgia leading. Number 9, Ole Miss, 28-14. Earlier today, it was number 3, Michigan going on the road and beating number 10, Penn State, 24-15. So the Wolverines, without their head coach, Jim Harbaugh, still get the big win today on the road. And one other game involving ranked teams. How about Missouri? The 14th ranked Tigers take out Tennessee today at home big, 36-17. Missouri now 8-2, 4-2 in the SEC as Tennessee falls to 3-3.
One last game of note: the Tar Heels and the Blue Devils are playing, and the Tar Heels are currently ahead 7-0. So that could be a bad weekend for the.
For the Duke Blue Devils. Yeah. Boo-hoo.
I'm not here to this isn't sympathy. I'm just talking facts.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we do not know the time yet on next Saturday's game. We will let you know that as soon as we know it on Sunday when they announce that, and it appears it'll probably. I would be shocked if that's not the ESPN game window in the afternoon, which today was 1:30. Was a 1:30 kick. In today's ESPN early window. Fox had the other window at 2. It's going to be one of those two next week, probably national television. If it's ESPN, who knows? It could be ESPN Game Day next week here in Tucson.
You and I, DK, on the afternoon show and in pre and post, most talk sports radio is a lot of speculation and, let's project 6 months from now. We don't really do a lot of that. We kind of react to what's already happened. However, I do have a speculative question for you.
Okay.
What is Arizona's ranking when it next comes out?
Okay.
21st.
What is their ranking? Right?
Yeah, 21st last week. So
I don't think it goes up a lot. I think I could see them being top 20, like 19, 20, 18, 19, 20, somewhere there.
I do too.
Yeah. Robert checks in via the text groove. Hello, this is Robert. I'd like to ask the guys if U of A's financial crisis is going to hurt our sports programs. I'm guessing we will not have the money to give raises to our coaches and support staff that the guys were saying are so important to this turnaround. I'm afraid that this success will bring poachers, and we will not be able to pay our guys to stay. Thank you, bear down. Well, one thing is absolutely certain. Arizona is going to have a hiring freeze. They said that as much at the Board of Regents meeting, which means that if anybody leaves of their own volition, they are not going to be replaced, at least not right away. So obviously, if you lose, if staffers decide after this season ends that they're going to leave and go somewhere else, those people likely are not going to be replaced. Now, I don't know how that would work with coaches. Like, say your defensive coordinator leaves, are you not going to try to replace that person? That might be a situation where Jed has to make an internal promotion, and then that person's job does not get replaced. There are going to be cuts. They're going to. The percentage that was laid out there was 10% in every department, not just sports, but every department at the University of Arizona. So what that means in sports, that will remain to be seen. What that means, however, those 10% cuts have to be made. If that's trimming off the bottom, which would be unfortunate. But if that's, I'm sure they'll find some places at the middle and the top if they have to make those cuts as well. Robert, we appreciate you checking in on that. All right, let's take our last call tonight and hear from the great Mauricio on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Yeah, I thank the Lord Jesus who can save from hell and get to heaven. This sure made a great game. It makes it a better game with two tough. Colorado, they're tough. I mean, give a lot of credit to Dion. He changed, improved in just 1 year. He was 3-0. He started strong and he continues on, like you say. He don't quit. and it made a improvement, and this what makes it more exciting when we knew that it would be a great game, because like it reminds you of the first game, which this is the 10th game already. It goes flying. When TCU and Colorado were going, a good battle, and then Colorado won, and we even played better than TCU because we won, and it's an improvement, and I believe Deion Sanders next year, like what he was saying in the press conference, they're going to get better. Perhaps we won't play them again. We're moving on to a different, was it the Big Ten now? And it was a good farewell, game. It was exciting, great.
Mauricio, they're going to the Big 12 too, so we're going to be in the same conference. Now, we might not play them next. I have to look at the schedule. I don't know if we play them again next year, but we will be playing them in the future.
I know the plan is to have it be the area, the schools that are in each region, right? They're trying to group those schools together. So I believe Utah, Colorado, and a lot of those regional schools will all be in that same group with ASU and whatnot.
And that level, it took us time to improve with Jeff Fish. It took 3 years. I mean, 2 years ago we only won 2 games, and then the following year we won in the Territorial Cup with 5 wins, and now we believe that we're going to win out and then win the bowl game too, to be 10-3. Utah, they're a good opponent too for us to get tested again, and believing that we will win and win the last one and win the bowl game. I give credit to Rich Rodriguez. He helped us go in 5 bowls. I think that was amazing. That's amazing, and that's a quality coach now we have, Jeff Fish. He improved to prove, and it takes time sometimes, not overnight, training and also Rich Rodriguez did great in training practicing the players, for preparation for Utah, for the weather. Like I mentioned, the sprinklers, he trained them for the cold over there, the moisture over there, and we did win. Remember when we won a game here too against Utah? We won. That's like 2018, maybe, was it? 2017. And it's exciting, to look forward and know that things are looking up, and I would shake Deion Sanders like when he tried to shake Jerry Rice's hand, and Jerry Rice didn't want to, and a hug and a point up to the sky.
That's a classic NFL highlight there.
That was for a very good reason, though, right? Didn't he leave San Francisco to go play for the Cowboys? Isn't that how that worked
absolutely.
out? Yeah, so we know why that was.
From Atlanta to San Francisco, then to the Cowboys,
Right.
Deion went, and so a lot of credit to Deion in his playing times. He was always fun to watch. Always got put him in the right time at the right moment in the 90s, and now as a coach too, everything accurate, got timing, and to remind us, to not forget God, have God first, and because we're just passing through this life, how we see things changing, like the athletic department, or like our water too. Trusting in God. I mean, God filled the whole earth with rain. He can fill our reservoirs, our shortages, so we won't depend on dirty water, but on fresh, godly, blessed water, And you just gotta trust in Him and always be ready when His time is our time to go.
All right, Mo. Hey, we appreciate you calling in. As always, continue to bear down, Mauricio. We love you.
I appreciate it a lot. Yes, love y'all. And, just believe in God, and we got greater God than the one that's in the world. The devil, and we know we have hope in heaven, and just it's really God's war with Satan. So it's like he wants us just to be willing. The spirit is willing, the flesh is weak. We're weak. We're human, little lower than the angels. And then
thank you, Mo. Mo, we gotta go. We're almost done. Thank you so much. Call back next time.
So much.
All right,
Thank you,
bear
Mo.
down. Thanks, Mo.
All right, just to answer his question, we do play Colorado at home next year, and then back in Boulder in 2025.
BYU, Utah, TCU, UCF, ASU, Colorado, TTU, UH,
Texas
Houston,
Tech, yeah.
Texas Tech, Houston,
Yeah.
and West Virginia. That's the first year, yeah.
Yep. So that will be the Big 12 schedule.
Yeah, we're actually supposed to leave our show here about 15 minutes ago, so we're a little bit over. No disrespect, Mo. We love you.
No,
Please call
absolutely.
back. We just have to get out of here.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, J-Dub?
Just a great weekend overall. Really proud of
What a
the
weekend.
fight that Arizona football team. I just think Glenn said it best. I just think when you can win games, DK, when you don't play at your best, on the road, hostile environment, huge crowd, really passionate fans up there. Really, really proud of Jed Fish's crew.
I think that's what we want to see. What we saw at Colorado is, and again, that's what we want to see. Let's start next Saturday night. Let's end this thing right here at home. Let's go up and represent in Tempe in 2 weeks, and let's continue it going to wherever bowl game they send us, and take that in to next season, and continue to build this football program to the top of what will be the new Big 12. That is going to wrap it up for us tonight. I want to thank all the people that were involved in this broadcast today. Thanks to AJ Camacho for his job and work as always. And most of all, thanks to you for listening. We will be back on Monday for the Jed Fish press conference show. That'll be at 1:30. And then we will have, and right after that, we might just continue from Jed Fish right into the pregame show.
Let's do it.
For basketball at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock officially is the basketball pregame show on the Arizona, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290, as Arizona takes on the Southern Jaguars at McHale Center. 52,788 fans at Folsom Field today saw the Arizona Wildcats beat the Colorado Buffaloes 34-31 on a last-second field goal. For Calvin Ifan, J.W. Madden, and Glenn Howe, I am David Kelly. In fact, let's send you out one more time. How about we do this real quick? Let's send you out with that bear down Arizona. There is nothing better than that, if I can get it up here real quick, to get you out of here and into your Saturday night here in Tucson. We have a chance to actually finally enjoy a Saturday night here in Arizona after a win. No night games. I mean, it doesn't get any
good night for
better
house
than that.
music.
Oh, yes. I'll be down at the Dusk Music Festival. So one more time with the guys after the ball game here in Boulder.
Arizona, tear down red and blue, tear down Arizona. Hit 'em hard, let 'em know who's who. Fight, tear down Arizona, tear down red and blue. Go, Wildcats, go Arizona, tear down.
Wealth Management Postgame Show is brought to you in part by Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Right Now Power Sports Tucson, the Tucson Police Department, Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, and University Termite and Pest Control.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. And coming soon is Del Webb at Rockin' K, a 55-plus active adult community offering a rec center, world-class amenities that promote health and wellness, and new homes with refined interiors and stunning outdoor spaces. Live RockinK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
As a homeowner, you've probably seen some pretty bad plumbing problems.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
We've seen them all.
All of them?
Ram's Plumbing kept entire buildings flowing. Businesses since 1983.
Wow, so whatever happens to my house...
We've seen it before, and we have the solution. Locally owned and operated, Ram Plumbing is Tucson's most trusted plumber. Our team of licensed professionals can fix anything your home can dish out. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double. Online at bestplumbertucson.com.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees, bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and southern Arizona, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Are you ready to adopt? Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. For some of you, the cooler overnight temperatures will be just enough to trigger your tire's low-pressure warning light. In most cases, you can solve the problem simply by adding the correct amount of air to your tires. This month, mention this ad, and with the purchase of any new tire pressure sensor, we'll install it in your wheel and rebalance your tire absolutely free. You'll find even more specials to get you road trip ready at jackfurriers.com. We're here to get you there.
Hi, it's Floyd, the family man with the family plan. Outdated HVAC systems will drive up your electric bill, drain your wallet, and peace of mind. Save now at Goodfellas with no payments or interest till 2024. Get a 30% federal tax credit, up to $2,000 off qualifying heat pumps. Trust Goodfellas. We're locally owned with thousands of 5-star reviews. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Visit us at goodfellasac.com to schedule a no-cost estimate.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
Frog and Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog and Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 import and domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog and Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
Tucson has a brand new platform for some of the leading conservative voices and opinion makers in America. It's the all-new Freedom 1400 KTUC. Freedom 1400 is the new home for conservative talk in Tucson. Voices you know and trust from Fox News Television, Newsmax Television, or your favorite conservative podcasts. When you want fresh, entertaining conservative talk, go to 1400 AM or stream it at freedom1400.com and listen to the new Freedom 1400.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code HACK to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HACK for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HACK for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Want to know how to get the same cell coverage for up to half the cost? Well, instead of spending a fortune building and maintaining their own cell phone towers, Consumer Cellular just pays to use the same towers as the largest carriers and passes the savings on to you. Pretty smart, huh? Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Half the cost savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 5 GB data plan with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plan offered by T-Mobile and Verizon May 2023.
Thank you for listening to this special presentation from Wildcats Radio 1290. We now return you to our regularly scheduled program already in progress. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
24 CBS 855-212-4227. All right. We were also talking about the Ravens a little bit earlier on as the Ravens take on the Browns in one of the more interesting games of this weekend. All I've done, and you can use the Odyssey app and use the rewind function, all I've done is compliment Baltimore throughout this show. I mentioned how Deshaun Watson's got to make this game about himself, and he's got to make this game, if he can beat this Baltimore defense, he can beat anybody. But all I've done is compliment a fantastic defense and what right now is a great offense as well. Now, we did get some phone calls in, though, and people were trying to poo-poo my idea.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. So we'll have to just do that press conference Monday from here, like we did last Monday. And I don't know, I'll have to decide if we just want to take it right out of that, because it'll probably last right up almost till 145, 150. Okay. All right, here we go. Coming up in 3, 2. Welcome into our 9th edition of Tucson in Review, Cumulus Media's weekly public affairs show dealing with events and issues that affect all of us here in Southern Arizona. I'm your host, David Kelly. We've got another outstanding show for you over the course of the next 30 minutes of your Sunday morning. Ron Schlegel from PAX, the Program of Academic Exchange, will join us to discuss the reboot of the International Student Exchange Organization here in Southern Arizona. And today is the last day to see the American Veterans Traveling Tribute Wall out on the pool lawn at Casino del Sol. Retired U.S. Army Sergeant Augustine Lopez Jr. will tell you how Tucson gets lucky enough to have this great tribute every Veterans Day weekend. All right, that's that. And now the out here in 3, 2. Our thanks to all of our guests today on Tucson in Review. Ron Schlegel from the Program of Academic Exchange, known as PAX, and retired U.S. Army Sergeant Augustine Lopez Jr. with the American Veterans Traveling Tribute Wall. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of this program, drop us a line to our email. It's studio@wildcatsradio.com. That's studio@wildcatsradio.com, or call us at 520-887-1000, 887-1000. That's Tucson in Review for this week. For producer J.W. Madden, I'm David Kelly. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Yep. Thank you.